Okay, let's get down to it. Kenneth Wade Harding, 19 years old, shot to death by police in San Francisco after he tried to avoid paying a $2 bus fare. Now, I said that the police story is kind of fishy. Some people say that I was only sticking up for him because he's black. Well, let me tell you something. I really don't care just to stick up for people because they're black. I'm more interested in calling the police out on their BS. Okay, and I think this story is BS. If I think a cop is in the right, like that one cop who got fired by Rice University for coming to the aid of another cop, that was ridiculous. They fired that guy? Come on. Anyway, if you're a cop and I think you're right, then I got your back. If I think you're wrong, then I'm going to call you out on it. It's just that simple. Anyway, a guy was actually, he was having sex with a 13-year-old. He actually got in trouble for that. The guy... he was actually in trouble for a number of crimes. So the guy is basically a criminal. So I'm not saying he's like the greatest person in the world, but it really doesn't matter. The police shot an unarmed guy. They're pretty much screwed. They pretty much made a mistake. Now, there's new evidence, according to the crime labs, that there's actually gun residue on his hand. What that means is either he shot a gun recently or he was around somebody who shot a gun recently, or somehow residue got, or maybe he touched a gun that was shot recently. That's possible. Now the problem is I don't know if the gun residue was on his hand before or after he was killed. You know, it could have been placed on his hand. Some people say that, oh, what, you think the crime labs are wrong? It's possible. I mean, it's very possible. I mean, for example, here's a story right here. North Carolina crime lab got into big trouble because basically, Exonerated guy was put in prison because of false information, because they basically screwed up. And now, this person is suing them. I'm going to actually put a link in the description box so you can see that. So for all you guys to say that, oh, well, the crime labs, that's got to be true. Some of you guys have been watching too much CSI. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so maybe he did shoot at the police. That's a possibility. The problem is the story doesn't quite work. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, you watch the video. The police claim there's an object at the bottom of the video at one point in one frame where they say, hey, that's probably the gun. They claim it's a shiny gun. They claim it was a .45, which raises other questions. Okay, this guy, you have the guy laying on the ground. You have the police immediately around him. They're standing around doing absolutely nothing, but trying to block off the people. But very close, you have people surrounding the police, and they're angry. And about 15 feet away or so, you guys can judge, you can watch the video, you actually see the object the police are referring to. 15, maybe 20 feet away. In the video, you have people just walking around casually, and nobody notices that there's a damn .45 pistol on the ground. .45s aren't exactly small guns. Okay, it's actually a pretty big gun usually. The smallest one I found was this Glock subcompact one, which is actually black. But they say it was a shiny gun. They think they had the gun that they found. The problem, they say that somebody walked off with the gun. Now, okay, let's think about it rationally. Okay, you're a cop. Put yourself in the cop situation. You get a call. Some guy wants to avoid paying a bus fee. He runs, right? You chase him down. He pulls out his gun. He shoots at you. You shoot back. You take him down. The bullets hit him in the back. He drops down to the floor. As far as I'm concerned, if anybody shoots at the cop, cops have every right to shoot him back. If a suspect has a gun, the cop tells them to put him down, put that gun down, and he still runs, I still think they have a right to shoot him because he's a threat to the community and he's not complying. With that said, you're the cop. You're running after this guy. He shoots at you. You shoot him down. He goes down to the ground. What's the first thing you're going to do? Okay? Let's be rational. I don't know about you. I'm not a police expert. I'm not a law enforcement personnel. Me personally, I'm going to secure the gun because in the video you can see him moving his head, his neck like this. And you can see him kicking his leg, right? So obviously he's still somewhat active afterwards. If somebody shot at me and I shot them, I want to secure the gun. I want to get the gun away from the suspect. That's what a rational police officer would do, at least in my humble opinion. You guys tell me what you would do. The fact that you have a bunch of cops standing around his body and nobody looks for the damn gun. You have at least one cop go over to the guy and sort of do something with him. I guess he was searching him. I would have flipped his ass over. I don't care if he's bleeding out of his neck. He shot at me. I don't give a damn. I would have pat him down, look all over the place for the gun. Okay, if I was a cop getting to the scene, first thing, get all these people back. There's too many people crowding up the crime scene. Get their asses back. period. Okay, if I'm a lieutenant or somebody, I want to know what the hell happened. Did he shoot at you? He did. Where's the gun? Okay, because we got a lot of angry people around us, and we can't find the gun. Now the gun's 15 or 20 feet away. They shot the guy, right? I can see how you can shoot somebody and his arm waves like this, and the gun can be thrown 15 or 20 feet. I mean, that's entirely possible. I could be wrong. Maybe he did shoot at the cops. The problem is you're sort of stuck in a situation where, okay, either the cops were shooting in self-defense and they were right, but then they were incompetent in recovering the gun, and they had to find the gun later on, which I thought was really suspicious because they didn't actually find the gun at the crime scene. They found it afterwards. They could have easily used, one of the cops could have easily used a CI to say, oh yeah, I saw somebody pick up the gun, and then found some throwaway gun, and then use that as the supposed gun that the guy had. That's what they could have did. I'm not saying they actually did it, but it's a very real possibility. So either they were right in shooting him and then incompetent in recovering the gun, or they did what I just said right there. They shot an unarmed guy and then they tried to cover it up. So maybe I'm wrong, but again, when you think about the story rationally, there's some serious problems. And then there's the 45, which raises questions. I mean, if you're riding a bus, I mean, can you really afford to shoot a 45? I mean, anyway, actually, I'm poor and I'll shoot a 45. So what am I saying? But I will say this: I'm not a felon, and if I'm a felon, I kind of want a smaller gun, like a 9mm, something more concealable, because you really don't want people to know you have a gun if you're a felon. Okay, and I'm not sure I would go with a shiny gun if I'm a felon. But hey, a lot of criminals are stupid. I mean, it's just something to think about. You guys tell me what you think. There's a big problem with the police's story. A lot of it just doesn't make a lot of sense at all. I mean, I look at the video and I don't know if it's a gun. I mean, can you tell if it's a gun? Or people just walk by like it's nothing. So maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But there's a lot of questions here. Bottom line, you shoot at me, I shoot you down. I want to secure the gun. The fact that they didn't work to do that shows either incompetence or the guy was unarmed. You guys tell me what you think. So what should the punishment be for the police officer? A lot of people think that I defended this guy only because he's black. Well, frankly, I don't give a damn about him, and here's why. In January 2010, this guy grabbed a 14-year-old girl off the streets of Seattle, drove her to an unfamiliar location, demanded that she sell her body. She refused. He offered her cash. She still refused. Then he dropped her off in a place she didn't even know, right? The plot thickens. A year earlier, when she was 13 years old, he actually had sex with the girl in his own house while he was under home detention for, wait for it, armed robbery. I'm not making it up. It's right there. The link is in the description box. Okay? Well, at least according to the court documents. And CBS San Francisco is reporting this. So you guys tell me if you trust this source. So the idea that I'm defending this guy because he's black, well, why are you putting your neck out for a guy like this? Because next time, it may be me. And even though I don't have a criminal record and I haven't done any of that type of stuff, I could be on the chopping block. I may be shot and I'm unarmed. So that's why it matters to me. You guys tell me what you think. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. And don't forget the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Bye.